All right, what is up, beautiful people? Let's get the comments pulled up. Comments. Where's my comments at? There they are. We're going to let the Discord know that we are live. It'll take me 2 seconds. All right, send out a Discord notification. Frank, what's up, dude? Sanchez, what's up, man? I'm seeing you early today, Sanchez. What's up, Wanderlust? What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. We're getting this one in early today. Early today. What's up, Maddie? Hope everyone is having an amazing Sunday. Welcome. Let's see. We'll send out one more Discord notification. I'm telling you guys, the Discord, best way to be notified about the streams. Best way. I almost forgot, but I didn't. There we go. Thank you for answering my questions. No problem, dude. No problem. No problem. So this up here is fairly new, but simply put, if you can't watch the streams live, you have to watch them in the future. If you see this, you can skip through this. If you don't want to watch this part, you can wait until this disappears, and then you'll know that we're into the main point of the stream. Just a little way to make it a bit easier for people that can't watch live. What's up, Olivia? Welcome. It's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety recovery, the importance of dedication. The importance of dedication. Now, yesterday we did a stream that was basically the same topic. We talked about how recovery happens in waves. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of dedication. More or less the same topic, right? The same subject. You got to be dedicated because recovery does happen in waves, which means if you are to, start to feel relief, if you're starting to make progress, but then you hit a few bumps in the road, that's where dedication comes into play. Sanchez says, ready for class, bro. Always here to learn. Hearing your advice over and over will reprogram my mind. Hey, there's nothing wrong with plenty of reminders, right? Nothing wrong with plenty of reminders. Sometimes people need those reminders to keep them on track. I know for me personally, back when I was going through it, I fell off. I fell off quite a bit. I had to get back on board time and time again. There was some bumps in the road when I first started. So try to do these streams. Basically, if you've been here for a while, these streams are pretty much just a reminder at this point. But you know how it goes. It's good to see you though, dude. Welcome. We're going to get going in just a minute, guys. We're going to give it about another minute. Let some people get in here that want to watch us live. Then we'll get this ball rolling. Then we'll get this ball rolling. Let's see. Kill some time real quick. Let's send out a Discord invite to anybody that would like to join us over there. Drop that in the chat. Should pop up in just a second. There we go. Discord's completely free, guys. You can join us over there. It's okay to have some support, make some friends. I miss y'all. We missed you too, Wanderlust. Welcome. All right, guys. We're about 4 or so minutes into this. Let's go ahead and tackle the main point of today's stream. Everybody, listen up. Listen up. We're going to be talking about the importance of dedication. So, boom, that goes away, which means we are on to the main point of the stream. Nearly 10K. Yes, Olivia, nearly 10K. Whew, so exciting. So exciting. Couldn't have done it without you guys. All right, let's get into it. The importance of dedication. Now, now we have talked about the subject of waves. Recovery happens in waves. We've talked about the topic of how recovery is not really linear. It kind of looks more like this, right? Because people have ups and downs. You have ups and downs. You have some bumps in the road. This is all a very normal part of recovery. It should pretty much be expected at this point. Now, what this means is you could have a really good week, right? You could have a really good week, and then the next week is not so great, meaning that you have anxiety symptoms. You have anxiety physical symptoms. You have the negative intrusive thoughts. It's very easy, right? It's very easy at that point to kind of throw your hands up and be like, where am I going wrong? What's going on? What's happening? I don't want to feel this. I don't want to have these thoughts again. You know, yesterday was so good, or last week was so good. I don't want to be here. You know, and if you fall into that attitude, right? If you fall into that attitude, you're gonna fall into an attitude of second fear. That basically is what we would call an attitude of second fear. So this is why dedication is so important, right? This is why dedication is so important. If you let what I call your training days, your retraining days, if you let those days sucker you into an attitude of, I don't want to feel this, why is this happening, make it go away, make it stop. If you let those training days sucker you right back into the same old bad habits, right, that put you in the sensitized boat to begin with, then we're going, we're going to have to make changes. We're going to have to readjust a bit. So recovery happens in waves. Recovery happens in ups and downs, and these are to be expected. But if you don't have the dedication to stay on track with what you've learned, even though I know it can be a bit frustrating that you're having ups and downs, right? I know that you want those good days to just last forever. We'll get there, right? We'll get there. But if you let those ups and downs throw you into an attitude of why me, why me, why me, right? Then you're gonna need to readjust. You're gonna need to make a slight change in the attitude, because when you let those ups and downs, which again are very, very normal parts of recovery, when you let those ups and downs throw you into an attitude of second fear, an attitude of frustration, resistance, right? We've got to make a change. We've got to make a change if that happens to you. We got to get dedicated. Now, like I said, I completely understand that there's going to be some frustration when you've had such good days or whatever, and then you get some not so great days, meaning that the symptoms are high, right? I get that there's going to be some frustration. I get that you're going to be a little bit aggravated. I understand that. Nobody's perfect. I'm not trying to take that away from you. I'm not telling you that you have to jump up and down with joy because you're having a retraining day, aka anxiety day. I'm not telling you you have to jump up and down with joy. I'm not telling you that you can't be a bit frustrated. You're human. I understand it's a little bit frustrating. I understand it's a bit disheartening, right? But with all that being said, you need to stay on board. You need to stay on track. You cannot let these ups and downs, very normal parts of recovery, you cannot let these ups and downs sucker you right back into that attitude of resistance. You cannot let these ups and downs sucker you right back into mentally fighting with all this crap, right? You cannot let these very normal, and I keep saying that because it is so normal, you cannot let these very normal ups and downs of recovery sucker you into an attitude of second fear. You need to keep that attitude of acceptance, even if you don't feel it, right? Even if you're just going through your day reminding yourself to accept instead of fight, but you don't feel it, you still feel rough, that's okay. Remember, we don't base recovery on the way that we feel in the moment. We base recovery on whether or not we're reminding ourselves to accept, okay? To literally take a step back every time we catch ourselves fighting with the crap and reminding ourselves, all right, no more fighting. I accept these thoughts and feelings. Come and go as you please. Right now, a lot of people say, well, I don't believe those words when I speak them. And you don't have to believe those words when you speak them. You don't have to believe those words when you speak them, but you need to speak them. Because if you're not speaking those words or something along the lines of those words with acceptance, right, then chances are you're up here fighting, fighting, fighting. And in case you didn't realize it, it's not getting you anywhere, right? I think we can all agree on that. It's not really getting you anywhere. So, you might not believe those words when you speak it, but we need to speak them, and we need to keep reminding ourselves, I have an accepting attitude. I embrace these thoughts and feelings. I'm not going to get too hung up on fighting with them. I'm getting right back into living, right? This is where the retraining is done. But just kind of to rope it back in, to get back to the main point of today's stream, the importance of dedication, guys. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have some bumps in the road, but you got to stay on track. You got to stay dedicated. And I know sometimes it's just easier said than done, right? Sometimes those bad habits tend to die hard. That's how the old saying goes, bad habits die hard. And that definitely applies to anxiety recovery. Old bad habits like mentally fighting with all your thoughts and feelings instead of embracing and welcoming them, right? All those old bad habits, they do die hard. And I understand that. And I understand that you're not going to be perfect. I understand that you're going to have your moments. I understand that you're going to have times where you just feel down and out, right? And you're beating yourself up. I get it. I've been there. I get it. I really do. But we have got to keep that dedication. We have got to dig deep, and we've got to find that part of us that wants to recover so that we can use that to our advantage and turn that into dedication, turn that into motivation to continue to keep up this accepting attitude, right? We've got to find that part of us that wants it so bad that we stay on track. And, you know, like I said, it's okay to stumble, it's okay to fall, it's okay to make mistakes. You're a human. All of this is okay, right? Nobody's perfect, and I understand that nobody here is perfect, right? I get it. But that dedication needs to be had, guys. That dedication needs to be had. Now, let's say you mess up. You have a day where you add a lot of second fear, right? I get it. I get it. Let's say you mess up, you stumble, you fall, right? Does that mean you're back at square one? No, that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you're all the way back at square one. It just means that you need to get back on track. It just means that you need to do a little bit more readjusting, right? That's all that means. It doesn't mean you're back at square one. It doesn't mean, oh gosh, it's screwed up. I've got so far to go now. I've really hurt my progress here. It doesn't mean any of that. And the moment you start telling yourself all that crap, you're self-sabotaging. So let's pull that back in. Let's understand and let's accept that we are human. We do make mistakes. Sometimes we add second fear when we didn't mean to. Doesn't mean you're back at square one. Just means you need to get back to that dedication, right? It means you need to get back on board, and we need to build that dedication. Building that dedication is a practice in itself, right? So, you know, I see people come in here and sometimes, oh, I've been doing really good with this acceptance thing. You know, I've had high anxiety this week, but I'm really kicking ass. I'm reminding myself I accept these thoughts and feelings. And then they come in the next week and they're like, you know, I'm back at it again. I'm adding all this second fear. That's okay. You're human, right? You're human. And it's good that you're aware of it. It's good that you're aware that you're self-sabotaging while you're self-sabotaging, right? But just because you made a mistake, just because you fell off the dedication a little bit doesn't mean you're back at square one. I don't want people to start thinking to themselves like that, because that's second fear in itself. When you start beating yourself up for the mistakes that you've made, that in itself is second fear. We accept even that we made a mistake, right? We don't feel that crap. We don't feel those thoughts that tell us, oh, you're back at square one. We don't feel those thoughts that say, oh, you're screwed, right? We don't feel those thoughts that say, oh, you know, now you'll never get it. We don't feel any of that crap, right? Even the thoughts about the mistakes that we make. So, you know, is it important to stay dedicated? Is it important to stay on track? Yes, absolutely. But is it something that you should beat yourself up about and tell yourself, oh, I'm back at square one, if you don't stay dedicated, you know, like you think you should? No, it's never worth beating yourself up about. It is important to stay dedicated, but it's not worth kicking yourself in the ass for, unless that is a loving, caring kick in the ass and just a swift reminder to yourself, okay, it's time to get back on track, right? So, you know, I wanted to come on here and talk about the importance of dedication. You need to keep this up day after day, but at the same time, I don't want anyone leaving this stream with, you know, thinking to themselves, oh, well, I've really screwed it up this time, I can't stay dedicated. I don't want you to start thinking that, because that's unnecessary fuel to negative thoughts, right? I do want you to walk away with from this stream, however, with an attitude of, okay, you know, I am going to try my best to stay on track. I am going to try my best to stay on board no matter what thoughts and feelings come. I'm going to remind myself to accept them, right? But if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. So be it. That's what I want you to come away with this from this stream with, right? I don't want you to come away from this stream with an attitude of, oh, I've really screwed up this time. I just want you to come away with an attitude of, I can stay on track. I can stay on board. And if I make a mistake, I'll get right back on board, right? So whatever feelings, whatever thoughts come, I know sometimes they can be intense, sometimes they can be strong. You need to take a step back and you say, I accept you. You might not believe those words, but we got to get on board, right? We got to get on board. So you absolutely can do it. Don't fuel the fire. You're not working with water. When you fight with these thoughts and feelings, you're working with gas. All right? I love you guys. We're going to get into some comments. That was the main point of today's stream. Dedication, the importance of dedication. Stay on track. So who do we got in chat today? Travis, Rainy City. What's up, dude? Says, what's up, Wonder Bro? What's up, man? How you doing? We're going to switch over to the post stream for just a second. Just a second, guys. Let's see. Hold on. Where are we at? You guys start leaving your comments, start leaving your questions. If you have any, I will address those in just a minute. We are going to switch to the BRB screen real quick. All right, pardon the interruption. We right back at it. So, questions, comments, feel free to make them now. We're gonna hang out with the chat for a bit. How is everyone doing today? Just to kind of bring my point home one last time. I don't want anyone here to beat themselves up because they're not perfect. This stream was definitely not about being perfect. It was just about the importance of making sure that even if you hit some bumps in the road, which happens, even if you hit some ups and downs, that you keep that attitude of acceptance rather than punishing yourself, and you keep that attitude of I can get back on track, right? Main point of today's stream, guys. Main point of today's stream. Tension headaches are not fun, Travis. Tension headaches are not fun. A lot of the physical symptoms are not fun per se, right? But although there's nothing we can tell you that's just going to make your symptoms poof, and I know that it's not fun to have uncomfortable or painful physical symptoms, right? If you know that you're dealing with anxiety, I'm assuming you've been cleared by a doctor, you've dealt with anxiety for however long, if we're talking about anxiety-based physical symptoms that are painful, right? Again, there's nothing that we can really tell you to make them poof and go away. However, we can tell you that in time they will start to fade. The less and less that you try to fight with them, the less and less that you try to mentally fuel all of this aggravation, this stress, this frustration. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's why we love the word, and you guys know what I'm about to say. That's why we love the word practice. We absolutely love the word practice here. For that reason, we love it, we love it, we love it. We love it, we love it, we love it. Practice, practice, practice. Dr. Claire Weeks loved the word practice. I love the word practice. It's a good word. It's a good word. I know it's easier said than done when you have something like, for example, tension headaches, in your case. It's easier said than done to take a step back and say, you know what, it's here, it's happening. Don't necessarily like it, but I accept it, right? Instead of entertaining all of the negative story, right? It's easier said than done to do that, but that is the practice, so just keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Resistance is futile, chat. Resistance is futile. Always has been, always will be. Always has been, always will be. And we know this. Isn't that funny in a way? We know this. We know that resistance is futile. We know that getting mentally worked up over these thoughts and feelings is not going to actually change anything. We know that mentally fighting with these thoughts and feelings is not going to change anything. We're aware of that. We are very aware of that as human beings. However, actually giving up the fight is it's a whole nother ball game. It's a bad habit. Fighting is a bad habit, resistance is a bad habit, and like we said earlier, bad habits die hard. So even though we know the logic behind acceptance, and we know the logic behind, not fueling the fire, we get all that. Even though we know that, it's easier said than done to break a bad habit. So I get it. The symptoms are not from second fear. The symptoms are not second fear. Okay, so first fear is your physical symptoms and your negative intrusive thoughts. You can't do anything about those. You didn't choose to have a numb feeling in your arms, right? That's not your fault. First fear is the physical symptoms and the negative intrusive thoughts that you have no control over. If you're sitting there and you have a negative intrusive thought, you didn't choose it. Okay, and the same thing applies to a physical symptom. If you're sitting there and you have an anxious physical symptom, like numb feeling in the arms, you didn't choose that either. That's first fear. There's nothing you can do about first fear. Second fear is when you start to say things like, oh God, I don't want to feel this. Or, oh gosh, let me argue with this negative intrusive thought for the next 3 hours trying to prove it wrong. Or, oh God, let me get in my head and start fighting with these physical symptoms. I don't want to feel this. Make it go away. Make it stop. Second fear is in your control. First fear is not in your control, right? So first fear, again, is those physical anxious symptoms that you have no control over. Same thing with the negative intrusive thoughts. Can't control it. You cannot control first fear. Second fear is whether or not you fight with it all. Second fear is whether or not you entertain a negative dialogue about it all. Second fear is whether or not you fight with the physical symptoms and the thoughts and get up here mentally and start arguing with them, or you take a step back and say, I accept these thoughts and feelings. If you take a step back and say, I accept these thoughts and feelings, and then get on with your life, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, then congrats, you're no longer adding second fear. But if you're up here mentally fighting with all these thoughts and feelings and not living your life, then you are adding second fear because you're involved in a fight. You're fueling the anxiety fire. You're not working with water, you're working with gas when you fight with these thoughts and feelings. So I hope that clears up the difference between first and second fear. Can't control first fear. Absolutely, completely in control of whether or not you add second fear. And that second fear all comes down to what you tell yourself. Whether you're getting on with your life and just telling yourself, hey, I'm not going to fight with these thoughts and feelings, it is what it is, or whether or not you lay in bed and fight with them all day long. That's going to control, that's going to determine whether or not you're adding second fear. But again, first fear, physical symptoms, negative intrusive thoughts, you can't control them. Second fear is the fight, whether or not you're fighting with it all, right? First fear out of your control, second fear in your control. And it's a practice. It's a practice. It's a practice. I've done really well with the thoughts and feelings, and acceptance has worked, but the headaches for some reason really get to me. Understandable. We've all got like our little things that really bother us, but continue applying what you already know, even to the headaches. They are the result of anxiety. I'm assuming you've been checked out by a doc, so if they are the result of anxiety, which by the way, headaches, tension headaches are a very common part of anxiety, then you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. Regardless, there's nothing we can really do about a headache when it's there, right? There's not a whole lot we can do about a headache when it's there, and the same can be said about a lot of the physical symptoms, and especially the thoughts. There's not a whole lot we can do about any of this, right? And that's what acceptance is really all about, coming to the terms with the fact that there's not a whole lot we can do about any of this. We can spend our lives trying to make these thoughts happy and live out compulsions and fight with it all, and we can do that, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. That doesn't really change anything. It just kind of prolongs everything. It just wears us out and exhausts us, right? So yeah, we can do that. We can fight with it all, but at the end of the day, that's not very helpful. So really, I mean, when we look at it, there's not really much we can do about any of this anxiety crap. What we can do, however, is practice not fueling it. And as a result, it'll take care of itself. So, it's all about coming to that realization that, sure, we can fight with these thoughts and feelings all day long, and we might be able to appease our thoughts and feelings through compulsions and safety-seeking behaviors and yada yada, but you guys have already tried all that. You've tried all that. It may have helped for a bit, but now you're here because you're looking for a new way of life. So it didn't help for too long, or you wouldn't have eventually found my channel. So yeah, we can fight with it all, but at the end of the day, there's really nothing productive that we can do with any of this anxiety stuff instead, except practice acceptance, right? Practice acceptance. Practice, practice, practice. You're going to have times where that anxiety's high. You're going to have times where that mind is screaming at you, and you want so badly to start this negative dialogue in your head about it all. You want so badly to resort back to those bad habits and start that negative dialogue, but hold off from that. Hold off from that and just remind yourself, it is what it is. This too shall pass. I accept these thoughts. I accept these feelings for what they are. Now I'm going right back to picking my nose, or whatever it was you were doing, right? And you might have to rinse and repeat that process, a lot at first. But you're switching from an attitude of fight to an attitude of acceptance. It might not feel natural at first. You might not even believe it at first. But at least you're doing it. You're doing it, and therefore you will start to see results. But again, the title of this stream, it's important that you stay dedicated, and you stay dedicated to that practice and keep it going. It might not feel like it's working. That's okay. You might not believe yourself when you say you accept. That's okay, because what's the alternative? Fight, fight, fight. We're no longer doing that anymore. This thoughts are so tricky, man. Inventing new ones after the other to try and scare me, but I'm not scared. It's weird as hard as they hit. Feeling not getting scared anymore requires a lot of work. So you're at the point where they're not causing much of a physical reaction anymore, which tells me your sensitive nerves are starting to heal. However, try not to get too annoyed by those thoughts. I know it's extremely easy to get annoyed by those thoughts when they just won't shut the hell up. But you got to remember, the more you want them to shut up, the more you're just feeding them attention. So instead, do your best to switch your attitude from, oh man, I wish they'd go away, to something more like, okay, they're here. They're annoying. Yeah, I agree. They're annoying. But, they are here, and there's not much I can do about it. Right? We got to come to terms with that. We really just got to come to terms with the fact that there's, honestly, not much we can do about it. I mean, we can fight them, that doesn't really help much, and it's kind of toxic to do that, obviously, or you wouldn't have ended up here if fighting worked, right? So we can fight them, sure, um, but that's not a fun route to take. So just continue practicing acceptance. I know they're annoying, dude. I know they get annoying, but like I keep saying today, what can you really do about it? Let's not waste our time, energy, and effort trying to do something about it. Let's not waste our time, energy, and effort and give it to something that annoys us, right? Why would we want to give our time, energy, and effort to something we don't like anyway? Let's just treat it as irrelevant. Let's do our best to practice treating it as irrelevant, right? And eventually the brain will learn. Eventually the brain will follow suit. It'll start to get the message. Once you start doing that, it'll start doing that. Right? At the end of the day, we're in charge. We don't know we're in charge, but at the end of the day, we are in charge. So, all right, guys, I'm going to switch to post stream for a moment. For just a moment, you guys know I gotta catch a smoke after the point of the stream, but I'm gonna have comments pulled up, so feel free to keep them rolling. Alright, we've got the comments pulled up. Anytime we're on post stream, guys, you can still comment because I've still got the comments pulled up where I can see them. The only time I won't see your comments is if we're on the BRB screen, but when I get back, I can always check them. A lot of people do compare it to Magic, Daniel. I'm going to pronounce your last name because I can't pronounce your first. But a lot of people do compare it to Magic. It's not magic. It's just how the brain works. But you gotta do it. You gotta practice that acceptance, even though you don't feel it, even though you don't believe it. You gotta, remind yourself to accept the thoughts and feelings rather than fight them. And then over time, it might feel like magic how it's working. It's not magic. It's just the brain starting to learn, right? Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself credit. I think it's so important to remind people that it might not feel like it's working in the moment. That's so important to remind people of that. It takes time for the brain to catch up, man. It really does. It takes time for the brain to catch up. If you take anything from this stream, take that, right? It takes time for a brain to catch up. How's everyone's day today? What's the weather like where you guys are from? It is absolutely beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. It's like 70 degrees, feels great outside. What's the weather like where you guys are from around the world? If anyone wants the Discord link, speak up, let me know. I can grab it as soon as I get back. But you gotta let me know. Let me know, let me know. Gotta let me know, no. May not feel like it's working in the moment, but as long as you're keeping an attitude and literally saying to yourself, I accept these thoughts and feelings, congrats, you're on the right track, even if it doesn't feel like it. Have a little faith in the process, right? Alright, guys, we'll be back to the setup in just a second. It's just pretty gray even though it's warm. I like rainy days, my favorite weather. It's my favorite weather. Alright, let's see here. Another thing, I'm glad I remembered this, that I wanted to address on today's stream was the difference between positive self-talk, and I did an entire stream on this once, but I just kind of want to bring this up again real quick. The difference between positive self-talk, right, and accepting self-talk. Some people think that they have to use positive self-talk, and they take that they take the words positive self-talk, they take that and they kind of bend it and think that they're using positive self-talk when actually they're just worrying. So let's say, for example, I have a thought that says, you're going to go crazy. If I was to sit around for the next 3 hours, right, for the next 3 hours and debate with my mind about why I won't go crazy, all I'm doing is worrying. I'm just gassing the irrelevant anxiety fire. That's not positive self-talk, right? I hate to tell you that. It's not positive self-talk, that's worry. That's second fear. You're just gassing the fire. Now, an example of true positive self-talk, if we're talking about acceptance, would be I have the negative thought, oh, I might go crazy, and I simply say to myself, okay, thanks for the suggestion, bud. I appreciate that. You can swim around up there if you want. I'm going right back to picking my nose, right? So, you know, positive accepting self-talk, you know the difference between worry and positive accepting self-talk. The difference is that positive accepting self-talk is very short, sweet, and to the point. It looks something like, I accept these thoughts and feelings, on with my day. It looks something like, okay, thanks for coming, thanks for the suggestion, on with my day. That thought might still be there, but you're no longer fueling the fire, so eventually the fire will burn out. So there's a huge difference between sitting around and trying to fight with your mind, right, for 3 hours, and trying to call that positive self-talk. In no way, shape, or form is that positive self-talk. That is fire. That is, or gas, rather, to the fire. That is gas to the fire. That is not positive self-talk. Positive accepting self-talk is very short. It's very sweet. It's very to the point. It has nothing to do with trying to debate with your mind, because that's not a debate that you're going to win. You're in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson and you've got your hands tied behind your back. Good luck winning that one. Okay, if you could win that one, you probably wouldn't be here on my channel now. So obviously something's not working. You know, so positive accepting self-talk, it's very short, it's very sweet, it's to the point. You're not getting into the details with the thoughts. You're not getting into the specifics, because that's all just worry. That's fuel to the irrelevant anxiety fire. You want to treat it like it's irrelevant. So if you're using true positive self-talk, that's very short, sweet, simple, and to the point. It looks something like, hey, I accept these thoughts and feelings, back to picking my nose, right? So, you know, there's the difference between that. Now, some people say, but Wonder Bro, I want to be a positive person, and that's great. Let's be positive about the things that are around us and happening now. If I spill a glass of milk, I'm going to be positive about it. Oh, you know what? It's just a glass of milk. I can clean that up in like 2 minutes. No big deal, right? Now, that's positive talk in real life. That's positive self-talk in real life. Or, hey, you know, I got out of a relationship. I'm heartbroken, but you know what? I'm going to heal. I'm going to give myself time. I'll find somebody better for me in the future, right? That's positive self-talk about something that's real and actually happening now, right? That's positive self-talk about real life. But when it comes to arguing with your mind, you're wasting your freaking time. Like, you know, let's say I get the thought, oh, my relationship might end. Now that's a thought. That's not something that's actually happening now. That's a thought. So let's not waste our time. Let's just say thanks for the suggestion. I'm back. I'm going back to picking my nose, right? So, you know, it's good to be a positive person when it comes to your real life, things that are happening in front of you right now. But it's never a good idea to try to fight with thoughts. It's never a good idea to try to fight with those negative thoughts that come. Now, let's say somebody says, well, what about negative thoughts that are about something that's happening now? Oh, I found a loophole on you, Wonder Bro. You didn't, because it's still a thought. It might be happening now, but if you don't want to gas that negative thought, right, you don't. You simply don't. You say thanks for the suggestion, okay? So, you know, again, positive self talk about real life is fine. It's good to be a positive person, but trying to argue or fight with negative thoughts is not positive self talk. It is worry. It is gassing the fire. Does everyone see the difference there in chat? Whether we're talking about a thought about something that's happening now or might happen, it's just simply never a good idea to argue with your negative thoughts because you're gassing them. It's okay to be a positive person and speak positively about your real life that's happening now, but fighting with negative thoughts is, you know, regardless of what the negative thought is about, not a good idea. You're just gassing them up. You're just fueling them up. You can say thanks for coming, right? You can say thanks for coming. So huge difference. Huge difference between worrying and fighting with your negative thoughts all day long, which, as you probably know by now, doesn't work. There's a huge difference between that and just being a positive person. If something bad happens to you in life, being a positive person, have a positive outlook, right? But fighting with your mind is just exhausting. It's a fight that you're not going to win, okay? Fighting with your mind is just exhausting. It's a fight that you're not going to win. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I don't want anyone here to mistakenly believe that they are doing positive self-talk because they argued with their mind for 6 hours, right? You didn't perform positive self-talk. You worried for 6 hours and you gassed an irrelevant fire. You know, so I don't want anyone to think they're using positive self-talk when actually they're just fighting with their mind. They're just gassing up these negative thoughts. Good morning, brother. Good morning. How you doing? You would love Norway then? Oh, we talking about the rain? Yeah. Yeah, I would. That's my favorite weather. It's hot. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. After a bout of sensitization, is it normal to feel weird, disconnected, and a little out of it of sorts? Do you just let it pass till it resolved itself? What other options do you have, really? You know what I mean? Like, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Like, yes, I might be feeling a bit out of it, a bit weird, a bit disconnected from going through, you know, a bout of this or a bout of that. What other options do I have besides letting it pass? If we're dealing with anxiety and we're dealing with anxiety-related symptoms, what other option do you have? You've already tried the other option because the other option is fighting. You've tried that, and apparently that didn't work because you're in my chat right now, right? So you have to ask yourself when it comes down to, oh, I'm experiencing these symptoms that I don't necessarily want to experience, but what choices do I have? I can go the fighting route. Obviously, that's never worked, or I can let it pass. So, you know, when your mind starts to present questions to you like, oh, you know, what do I do about this symptom? What do I do about this symptom? You need to ground yourself and ask yourself, what can I do about this symptom? Is there any magical words that I can speak that is going to make this churning stomach go away, for example? No. Right? So when you really start to internalize and realize on a deep level that there's really nothing you can do about these anxious thoughts and feelings besides fight with them, other than that, there's really nothing that you can do, right? So let's go with doing nothing. Let's go with doing nothing. Let's go with acceptance. Let's go with living, right? Hope that answers your question. Hope that answers your question. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing good? If you're not doing too good and you're having a retraining day, that's fine too. Embrace it. Welcome it. See it as an opportunity. Don't see it as a bad thing, right? See it as an opportunity. Don't see it as a bad thing. Change that attitude around. It's all about that change of attitude. It's all about that change of attitude. All right, since we got a break in the action here, no new comments. I'm going to drop the link to the Discord right there. Should pop up in chat in just a second. What are we sitting at on the Discord, guys? We're over like 500 and some people now. Hold on, I can tell you the exact number. We're at 500. 562 people have joined us over on the Discord. So if you want to be a part, feel free. The link is right there. Breakfast time. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Hope you have a great day, Sanchez. Hope you have a great day, dude. Enjoy your breakfast. What are you having for breakfast? Man, I know it's like 11 a.m., but I've already ate some pulled pork. That's an odd breakfast, isn't it? Barbecue for breakfast. Hey, it was good though. It was good. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. What's everybody in chat's favorite breakfast? Talk to me. What's your favorite breakfast? I'm curious. Breakfast food is my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. Breakfast for dinner, lunch. I'll have breakfast anytime. Any time of the day. What's up, WB? What's up, Tony? What's up, dude? I see you're a little late to the stream. That's fine. It'll be uploaded. Thanks, brother. Pancakes, eggs, and bacon. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong with pancake, eggs, and bacon. Perfect. Perfection, dude. Perfection. Perfection. I'd say my favorite breakfast is probably bacon. Definitely bacon. I love bacon. Absolutely love bacon. Bacon and eggs. They got to be scrambled. I like scrambled eggs. Bacon, scrambled eggs, and some sort of biscuit, right? Some sort of like you know those flaky biscuits. You know what I'm talking about? Oof, it's so good. Put the eggs on the biscuit so bacon just eat it all together. How you doing? Last week I tried to accept it like I usually do, whatever reason it kept getting worse and react to, but now I'm trying to pick up accept it once again. See, here's the thing. Here's where you might be falling short, Michael, and don't beat yourself up about it, dude, because it does happen. But what seems like has happened due to your comment is that you were doing well with reminding yourself to accept the thoughts and feelings, but then you had a moment where they increased, and that's fine. That's to be expected, dude. You cannot rewire your brain. You cannot rewrite anxious pathways unless there's an activation. So those pathways are activated. Now it's time to retrain with acceptance. So, what's happened is you've been doing well with acceptance, then you had a moment where the symptoms got a little bit strong and it freaked you out a little bit and you fell right back into the bad old habits of second fear, right? But Dr. Claire Weeks says herself that acceptance is crucial even at the very peak. And these are not her exact words, but she says something along these lines. You must surrender and accept even at the very peak of these feelings and thoughts, right? So, all that I'm really gathering from your comment is that you were doing well with acceptance, then you had some strong anxiety come on, and you fell right back into freaking out about it. So, it happens to all of us. It happened to me plenty of times during my journey, but you got to get right back on board, right? So you've got the right attitude, which is getting right back on board. Next time you get hit with some strong feelings, remember that it's not just me who said it. Dr. Claire Weeks said it herself. You have to surrender and accept, especially at the peak of these feelings. So if you're truly accepting and you're reminding yourself, I accept these thoughts and feelings, you don't want to be looking over your shoulder saying, please don't get any stronger, please don't get any stronger. You just want to continue, okay, when you catch yourself doing things like looking over your shoulder saying, please don't get any stronger, when you catch yourself doing that, pull yourself back in and say, no, no, I accept whatever thoughts and feelings come my way, no matter how strong, right? And you might not believe that. You might not say that with a lot of confidence at first, but at least you're not fighting, right? And you're on the right track when you do that, even if you don't fully believe it at first. Thanks always for your explanations whenever I forget how to approach or how someone I'm falling down the hole. You're always there as a reminder. Happy to be here, dude. And I hope you're having a good day. I love breakfast, making pancakes, eggs, bacon right now. You guys are killing me with this food talk. Man, you're gonna make me hungry. Yeah, I'm a little late. I normally catch you early. All good, dude. Should be uploaded. I'm from the south, so we have pancakes, waffles, grits, eggs, bacon, turkey bacon, all kinds of bacon. Mm, mm. You guys are gonna make me hungry. I can see it happening now. Thank you, Warner Bros. Sorry if I came late. You're all good, dude. No problem. No problem. Nine times out of 10, the streams get uploaded, so no big deal. Pancakes, bacon, eggs. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me right now. You're killing me. I asked for it though. I did ask for the chat to tell me their favorite breakfast, so I kind of brought that on myself. I kind of brought that on myself. Who else likes hash browns? Oh, I love hash browns. The problem is that my friends and family fight with their thoughts and they make up negative judgments about me, so it's really bad influence. It's hurting relationships. Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Again, and that's not a response that people want to hear, right? Let's face it, that's not a response that people want to hear. But just like there's not much you can do about your own anxious thoughts and feelings, rather than accept them, that's the correct way to go about it. You could fight them. Probably don't want to go that route though, right? But just like there's not much you can do about your own anxious thoughts and feelings besides practice acceptance, there's also not much you can do about how other people treat you or the way that they come at you. Of course, you can distance yourself from people that treat you wrongly. Sometimes we can't always distance ourselves. It's people that we're kind of forced to be around. So, in that circumstance, you just have to remember there's not much you can do about it. You can ask for respect, obviously. You can put up boundaries. You can draw the line somewhere. All of this is fine. But at some point, if there's nothing you can do about a situation, like there's literally nothing you can do about it, acceptance needs to come into play to eliminate unnecessary suffering, right? So it's not, when we're talking about real life situations, things that are actually happening now, it's not that you can't take action. You can take action if there's action to take. But if there's no action to take, acceptance needs to come into play, right? Acceptance needs to come into play because what other choice do you have besides unnecessarily suffering over something you can't control? So, ha ha ha, you did. I did ask for it. I asked for it. I love hash browns. I forgot about hash browns when I was naming off breakfast food. I don't know how I forgot about hash browns. That's one of my favorite parts. That's one of my favorite parts. I gotta forget about that. Have a good day too. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, chat. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to cook up some breakfast after this. I've already eaten today, but we're gonna have to cook up some breakfast because now I'm getting hungry again. It's that easy for me. It's that easy for me to get hungry again. It doesn't take much. We're a big boy, okay? Okay? Breakfast tacos. Oof, sounds so good. Potatoes. All right, I'm getting worked up. I'm getting worked up over here. We need to dial it in. Dial it in. Dial it in. Dial it in. All right, guys, we are going to switch to post stream for a moment. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold the phone. We're coming right back. We're coming right back because as I was about to head out with you guys for another smoke, I received a $100 tip. Yes, you heard me correctly. A $100 tip from Darcy. Darcy always comes through. I don't even know, okay, I don't even know who this person is in the chat. I'm assuming their PayPal name is different than their actual username on YouTube. I don't know who you are in chat, okay, because you never take credit, which is very selfish of you, but I wish you would take credit so that I could thank you personally. But every now and then this person comes in and they drop a $100 tip, and they've done that exactly today. Thank you so much, Darcy. Thank you so much for the $100 tip. I appreciate you. Let's get that tip goal updated. Single-handedly, absolutely, has destroyed the tip goal all by themselves. Can we give them some love, please? Can we show them some love in the chat? Again, they're very selfless, not selfish. They're very selfless. They never take credit for their $100 tips. I don't know who this person is in chat. They do this like every now and then, but I wish you would take credit so that I could thank you personally in the chat. But whoever you are, thank you so much for the $100 tip. I really appreciate it. You are awesome. Seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Can we spam the chat with emojis, please? Can we spam the chat with emojis to show our love and show our gratitude to this person? Thank you so much, Darcy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're awesome. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. That is not the first time they've done that either, by the way. That is not the first time they've done that. They have done that on several occasions, so thank you so much to the mystery person, Darcy. Whoever you are, I appreciate you very, very much. Will, I didn't even know you were in here, dude. What's up, Will? Hope you're having a good day, man. I know, was it yesterday you popped in the stream and said that you've been doing really well? I'm happy for you, dude. I love to see it. I love to see it. And if you're not doing too hot, that's fine because you're going through retraining. It's not that you're going through anything awful. It's that you're going through retraining, and I want you to look at it that way instead of looking at it as a bad thing, because that's really what this is all about, right? That's really what this is all about. And don't you worry, because even though it doesn't feel like it right now, as long as you're practicing that accepting attitude with what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings, even though it may not feel like it right now, you one day will be celebrating your recovery with me right here on the channel. Alright? Edward, what's up, dude? Good to see you, Edward. I love seeing all the emojis. Can we make that a thing? I've been trying to make that a thing. Anytime we get a tip, we spam the chat with emojis. We need to show our tippers that we are thankful and grateful for them. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Even if you can't tip, thank you for just being here. Thank you for just supporting, for commenting, for liking. Thank you for anything that you do for the channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the reason that we are right around the corner from that big 10K mark. So give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah, man, I'm doing great. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, dude. I figured we'd knock the stream out early. I woke up on the right side of the bed, right? I felt extra positive today, you know? So here we are. Here we are. Excellent stream. We're just hanging out. What happened to the video from yesterday? The video from yesterday, I just sometimes, okay, let me try to explain this. So 90% of the time the streams will be uploaded, right? But if a stream is ever not uploaded, it's because I wasn't happy with it. I'll just be honest. I wasn't really happy with yesterday's stream, and I don't know why. I just wasn't feeling it. I felt like I didn't get my point across the way that I wanted to get it across. So the stream that is being uploaded today, this stream that you're watching right now, was kind of like making up for yesterday's stream. I don't know, I can feel it. You know what I mean? Once you've been doing this for so long, you can just kind of feel it. Like if I was to end this stream right now, I'd be like, yeah, it's a good stream. I'm happy with the stream. I'm happy with the way I presented information today. Yesterday, I didn't have that feeling. I was like, nah, I ended the stream and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, you know what, I could have done that a little bit better. I felt like I could have drove that home a little bit better. So if a stream ever doesn't get uploaded, it's because I wasn't happy with it. And if that happens, then you didn't miss much. Trust me, you didn't miss much. And I always try to make up for it the next day. So the stream that you're watching today, or that you will be watching later if you're late, it makes up for yesterday's stream. You don't have to worry about maybe I missed something yesterday. You didn't miss anything. Just watch today's stream. It's okay, Sean. It's all a part of growing and learning, right? It's all a part of learning and growing. What do you think of breathing techniques to calm panic attacks? I was never a fan personally of breathing techniques because I felt like it made me too hyper focused on trying to calm myself down, which then in turn made me panic more, which is not the case for everybody. Don't get confused. It's not the case for everybody. For me, it was just easier to let my breathing naturally return to its usual state rather than trying to force it. Now, I know breathing techniques is somewhat of a popular thing. I'm not trying to bash it completely. I'm not saying that it's not for everybody. You could be using acceptance and still perform a breathing technique as long as you got the mental attitude right, as long as you're not telling yourself horror stories and fighting with all these thoughts and feelings. Yeah, so it might work for you, but for me personally, it was just never my thing. For me personally, it was just never my thing. I mean, sure, you could probably pull off like I said, a breathing technique as long as you've got that mental accepting attitude. But if you've got that mental accepting attitude, you probably won't even need the breathing technique, honestly. As long as you're telling yourself, hey, it's okay to feel what I feel, right? And you're practicing that, you probably won't need breathing techniques for very long. That was my first time tipping yesterday. I was so proud of myself. Hey, well, Tony is, you're somewhat new here, right? Shout out to Tony, dude. He has been very supportive since he's been here. So there you go, man. Hopefully that makes up for it. Hopefully that makes up for it. Tony did send a tip yesterday. I know you said you're just kidding, but I like to give credit where credit is due. So I like to try to give credit where credit is due. At the end of the day, I'm human too, right? And if I have a bad stream where I feel like I wasn't on the ball, where I was like in a not so great mood, or I was just I didn't perform well, right? Um, and that does happen because, like I said, I'm human too. Let's get back to the face cam. I'm human too, so that does happen. But when I have those days where that happens, I don't upload the stream because I'm just not happy with it, and I don't want it to be on the channel for whatever reason. Just wasn't happy with it. So that's what happened to yesterday's stream. And if it ever happens again in the future, you see a stream not be uploaded, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll do my best to make up for it with the stream that follows. I really wish I knew who Darcy was, who comes through with the big ball and tips, man. I wish I knew who this person was. Alright, I'm going to head on over to the Discord, see if we got anybody new over there. And in the meantime, I'm also going to put on some music. Put on some music since we're just chilling and hanging out. Let's see. You guys like lo-fi? Everybody here like lo-fi? It's really the only choice that we have, honestly. Oh, that's a little loud. Sorry. Sorry, I hope that wasn't like so loud that it blew any eardrums. I apologize for that. Is that a good volume? Are we good there? Oh yeah, there's something I need to check. Somebody made a comment that said the post-stream music is way too loud and they can't hear me over it. Is there dedicated music on the post-stream? I don't think there is there? Oh, that's what it is. I've got that music slider turned way up on the post-stream. I'm glad I remembered that. Somebody made that I don't know who it was. They left it on one of my videos, said that the post-stream music was way too loud. There we go. Hopefully that's better. I'm glad I remembered to do that. Alright, is that good? Is the volume good, everybody? We're good? We're good? Tony! Hey, I appreciate you, Tony. Let's see. Where are we? Where are we? I'm losing track. What games have you been playing lately? I've been playing the Mafia trilogy. So they had all 3 Mafia games, special edition, on sale in a bundle. I think it was like $30. So that's like hours and hours worth of entertainment right there for $30. Can't beat that. It might have even been less than $30. I've played all 3 Mafia games in the past. It's been a while and I've never played the special edition, so I grabbed it while it was on sale. Trying to find a good song. Trying to find a good song. But yeah, besides the Mafia trilogy I've been working on, what else have I been playing? I've been playing some Outer Worlds. I'd like to get back into that. That was really fun. 5M, I'm always playing 5M. Like that's a gimme. If I'm gaming, it's usually 5M, so I don't know, I'm weird when it comes to games. I'll play more games than just 5M from time to time, but I'm normally on 5M. Dude, I just found the coolest 5M server ever, right? It's a zombie survival server, roleplay server, and it's so much fun. So much fun, dude. So I've been playing that. I would advise everyone who hasn't to join the Discord. Yeah, the Discord's awesome. I don't want anyone thinking that the Discord is just like a forum, because it's not. I don't run my Discord like a forum. We do not run the Discord server like an anxiety forum. It's not just a bunch of people bitching and complaining and adding a bunch of second fear. It's none of that. It's really just a loving group of people and a nice community, a family that gets together on the Discord, and we chat about everything, not just anxiety. I mean, of course, there's plenty of anxiety support on the Discord, but we have channels for everything: movies, gaming, everything, hobbies, everything. Which one was the new one? What was it called? And how do you play it? The new what? The new Mafia? I think Mafia 3 is the newest one, if that's what you're talking about. And how do you play it? If you're talking about 5M, 5M is like modded GTA 5 servers. So you have to download 5M and you have to have GTA 5, the base game. And then you just launch 5M and you should be able to start browsing servers. But yeah, speaking of the Discord, let's drop the link again. Like I said, guys, it's not, we don't run the Discord like a forum. It's positivity, it's support, it's advice that's rooted in acceptance. It is not your average anxiety forum at all. It's like a little family over there. It's great. Let's see, on the Discord, guys, we've got selfies. You can post selfies, pictures of your hobbies. Granted, you do have to have the trusted members role. That comes in time. It's to cut back on the trolls. But once you get that, you can post selfies. You can go into hobbies, tattoos, pets. Let's see, we've got gaming, we've got movie chat, music chat, hangout chat for just general chat, even if it's not anxiety related. We've got a channel where you can share your accomplishments. Let's see. We've even got a channel where you can share pictures of your food. Okay, we've got a channel where you can share pictures of your food. Come on, if you're not on the Discord, you're missing out. If you're not on the Discord, you're missing out. It is basically just a chat room. There is voice chat, but nobody really uses the voice chat, so you don't have to worry about being shy. You can just chat. Let's see, let's get a new song going. Let's find a new playlist. I'm not a huge fan of that playlist. I like upbeat stuff. We got any of that? Come on, where's my upbeat stuff? Alright, that'll have to do for now. That'll have to do for now. How do you get to be a trusted member on the Discord? So like I said, the trusted member role is just there to prevent trolls from coming in and posting things they shouldn't be posting in the media channels. Basically, you get the trusted member role just from sticking around for a while. So if you've been a part of the community or on here, it's not necessarily that you have to be on the Discord for a while, just a part of the community as a whole, like even on the YouTube channel. So you've been here for quite some time. If you go to the request a role channel and drop your name in there, and I'll give you that role because you have been here for a while. So if you don't know how to get to all the channels, the sub channels, when you're on the Discord, I think it's swipe right and you'll pull up a list of all the sub channels. Go into request a role, drop that you've been here for a while and you want the trusted member role, and I'll try to get it to you. I want to forget that my heart raced because of sounds. Well, you can't force forgetfulness, right? So you're fairly new here, so you're still kind of, what's a good way to put it? You're still kind of new to this whole acceptance thing, so you're probably kind of sketched out about it. But I'm telling you, you can't force forgetfulness, and you can't go around saying things like, I don't want to feel this, make this go away. That's all second fear. That is all fuel to the fire. That is the bad habit that you have to break, right? So I know you're fairly new to all this, but as you continue to watch the streams, you'll see a reoccurring theme here, and that reoccurring theme is acceptance. And that's what's gonna slowly heal your body and mind. I was thinking the other day, how long have I known you? Good question, dude. How long have you been here, Will? It's been a while, man. It's been a while, at least a few years, at least. Bro, I think I'm overthinking that I'm scared of sounds. Oh, I know you're overthinking. There's no thinking that you're overthinking it. I know that you're overthinking it. So the practice now is to catch yourself doing that, take a step back, and instead remind yourself that I accept these thoughts and feelings, and then get back to picking your nose or whatever it was you were doing, right? And you might have to rinse and repeat that, rinse and repeat that, rinse and repeat that, but that is the practice. Getting into that accepting attitude, not fighting with it all anymore, even if you're uncomfortable at times, and you're going to be. You're going to be uncomfortable at times. The point is to not make it go away instantly. That happens in time. Healing happens in time. But even though you're uncomfortable, or you could be extremely uncomfortable, you still keep that accepting attitude, and you'll see the benefits of that sooner rather than later, right? Like I said, I know you're new here, so this is all very foreign to you. This is a brand new concept, and I understand that completely, but just keep watching and you'll catch on. It might seem very bizarre, and acceptance might seem very bizarre and strange at first, but just keep watching and you'll understand. You'll get it. You'll get it. And start practicing it. That's where you'll learn the most. I know you're not new. I don't mean that you're new to anxiety. I mean that you're new to the channel. I'm assuming. I've never seen you in here before, so that's what I meant by that. That's what I meant by that. You're new to the channel. But it's all about acceptance, dude. You got to stop fighting mentally with it all. So next time you catch yourself fighting mentally with these thoughts and feelings, remind yourself to take a step back and literally say to yourself, okay, I accept these thoughts and feelings, or whatever you want to use. Make it short, sweet, and simple, but give yourself that accepting reminder. Get into that accepting attitude, even if you feel like dog doo-doo, right? Even if you feel like dog doo-doo. That's not the point, is to not feel instantly better. Healing happens over time. So even though you're uncomfortable or very uncomfortable, you still keep that accepting attitude, because that fire will eventually burn out if you stop adding gas. What is the gas? You mentally fighting with it all, right? So again, take as many step backs as you need. I accept these thoughts and feelings, and get right back to picking your nose or whatever it was you were doing, right? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Practice that accepting attitude. You will see how that fire slowly starts to burn out over time. It may not burn out as quickly as you'd like it to, but it will if you keep this attitude. It will. It may not feel like it's working, but that's not the point. It probably won't feel like it's working, in the heat of the moment, but you'll see. Oh, wait, your name was, my name was Linux. I changed my name. I think that's what that word is, Linux. I changed my name. I watched your videos for 7 months. Okay, so you're not new here. All right, so you're not new here. So keep watching anyway. If you're not getting it yet, I don't care if you've been here for 7 months. That's fine, right? If you're not getting it, don't beat yourself up. It could be 7 months. It could be a year. Everybody goes at their own pace. You're allowed to go at your own pace. So regardless of whether you just started watching or you've been here for 7 months, keep watching if you don't quite understand it yet, all right? You'll get it. You'll get it. But at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that you don't get it. I don't think that's the issue. I think you just got to continue practicing, right? You just got to continue practicing. You just got to continue putting into use what you've learned. You've just got to continue putting into use what you've learned, right? So, yeah, to be completely honest, I don't think that it's, the problem is that you don't get it. I think the issue might be that you got to keep practicing. You got to keep actually using what you're hearing, right? My advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. Okay? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. My advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. But I think you made a comment yesterday that you've been doing better, or maybe it was someone else, I don't know, but I think you made a comment yesterday that you've been doing better. It's just that you've ran into this new thing where your nerves kind of overreact to sound. Okay, well, whatever the case may be, don't fall down the rabbit hole of, oh gosh, now I got to do this all over again. No, we want to keep an accepting attitude regardless of the symptom, right? We want to keep an accepting attitude regardless of the anxiety symptoms. So whatever path the anxiety chooses to go down, we don't jump into the mindset of, oh gosh, now this, oh gosh, now this. We throw it all under the anxiety umbrella, right? We throw it all under the anxiety umbrella, and we don't start falling into a second fear mindset because we were a little surprised by this symptom, right? And I think that's probably what's happening to you. You're a little surprised by a new symptom, and you've fallen back into a little bit of second fear, and that's fine. And that's fine. Just continue practicing what you know to be true, right? You made a small mistake. Big deal. Big deal. Just get right back on board. You got this. So, you guys, Thank you for the question, by the way. It always helps to get questions. It keeps the streams going, and you never know when your question might just help somebody else. It might just help somebody else. So thank you for the questions. We've got we've got some sparkling water. Doesn't that look like a soda? You guys know the sparkling waters that they have at like Walmart that they used to only sell in like the plastic big bottles, and it was like a clear American sparkling water. Those are so good. They're like a quarter a piece or something. I used to drink those like all the time. Well, they recently, I don't know how recently, started making them in cans. Check this out. They've now got sparkling water in cans. How cool is that? How cool is that? Sparkling water. So good. If you're trying to stop drinking soda, switch to sparkling water. It tastes just like some sort of soda. It's the carbonation, right? It tastes just like some sort of soda, but it's water. It's straight water. Zero everything, right? Zero calories, zero caffeine. Tastes just like a soda. So there's you a little tip if you're trying to cut back on the soda. It's crazy what the mind will come up with, Tony. The mind comes up with all sorts of crazy ideas. That's not a problem in itself, though. It only becomes a problem if you log into that, if you invest in that, right? Of course, the thoughts can be there and they might make you uncomfortable. They might make you very uncomfortable. But as long as you continue not to invest, which means you're just accepting, trust me, that fire will eventually burn out and you'll be laughing at things that used to trigger you. It's not magic, it's acceptance, right? It's not magic, it's acceptance. Are you trying to quit soda? I'm not necessarily trying to quit soda completely, but I have been on a bit of a weight loss thing, right? I'm trying to cut back on how much I'm eating. So I figured, if I cut back on the soda, that'll probably help my weight loss too. But your boy's been trying to lose a little bit of weight, so I figured it would only help if I cut back on the soda. Do you still have to use the acceptance method from time to time? Well, the acceptance method is it's a good life skill, right? So I myself personally, if I have a negative thought, which believe me, just because you're no longer sensitized does not mean you'll never have another negative thought in your life, right? So if I have a negative thought nowadays, I just smile at it. Of course, it's a lot easier to do that now that I'm not sensitized, right? And it'll be that easy for you too one day. But like I said, as a human being, you're always going to have negative thoughts. So absolutely, yes, I use the acceptance method nowadays. I mean, it's 10 times easier to use when you're not sensitized, right? But to get to that point where you're not so sensitized, you have to start using it. Um, but yeah, absolutely, I use the acceptance method. You'll always have negative thoughts as a human being that come from time to time. When you heal, they'll be much less frequent. You won't have a physical reaction to them because you're in a healed nervous system. But you'll still have the occasional negative thought roll in, and you can absolutely still use acceptance, even long after you've healed. Right? Long after you've healed, you can still absolutely use the acceptance method. Hi, hello, hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the stream. It's making me burpy. Every day I have random waves of anxiety and has been like this for months. That's great. That's awesome. You're having so many opportunities to retrain your brain. I've been using acceptance as a mindset, but they are so frequent. That's okay. That's okay. I've can kind of dissect in your comment where you might be going a little bit wrong. Okay, not completely wrong. You're still practicing acceptance, so you should be proud of yourself. But when you say things like, oh, it's been months of this and I can't seem to shake it, that's second fear, right? That's gas in the fire, and I know it's annoying. I know it's frustrating, but you got to take a step back and continue practicing true acceptance, right? You got to take a step back and say, hey, anxiety, you're welcome to be here. You got to take a step back and say, hey, thought, thanks for the suggestion, or whatever it is that you remind yourself that's, rooted in acceptance. I know it's frustrating. Sometimes we don't see the progress that we want to see as quickly as we want to see it, and that's life. But it's excellent that you've got that attitude. It's excellent that you're keeping the acceptance attitude. So don't fall down the rabbit hole of, oh, it's not going as quickly as I'd like it to, because that leads to a bunch of frustration, stress, fuel, right? I know it can be frustrating and I know it can be disheartening, but you got to study the course. You got to study the course. Don't let the fact that you're not making as much progress as you would like in the time that you would like pull you down the rabbit hole of negativity, pull you down the rabbit hole of second fear, right? I wish we could say this happened overnight, but sometimes it does take time, and that's absolutely fine. You see for yourself how using this accepting attitude has made it a little bit easier for you, right? It's made it a little bit easier for you, and just because it hasn't disappeared overnight doesn't mean we, should get frustrated or fall down that rabbit hole of why me, go away, right? Don't let the fact that you're not making as much progress as quickly as you would like pull you back into the same old bad habits, right? Don't let the fact that you're not making as much progress as you would like in the time that you would like pull you back into the same old bad habits, because you're on the right track. Obviously, if you've been using acceptance as a mindset, keep it up. There's no sense in going back to the bad old habits now, right? Just keep building on this. Keep building, right? Keep building on this. Everybody goes at their own pace. Everybody's different. Time frames are irrelevant. We can't give an accurate time frame. It could be quickly. It could take a little bit of time. Yada yada yada. That's an irrelevant thing to get into. But regardless, you're obviously on the right track. So why fall back into bad habits now, right? Just keep it up. Keep it up. Do you think it's bad that I wake up and watch some of your anxiety videos? If you're using the advice, no. But if you're just watching my videos all day long and you're not using the advice, then yes, it's probably time to start using the advice, right? That's what I always tell people when they ask that question. True acceptance is letting anxiety come in. Don't use acceptance as a weapon against anxiety. I like that. Do not use acceptance as a weapon against anxiety. You are correct, absolutely. It's a key to let anxiety in and be its friend. Does that make sense? It makes perfect sense, and I absolutely agree. So progress can be made even if I'm still seeing the same amount of waves. Absolutely. We did a video the other day called Don't Base Your Progress on the Way That You Feel. Base your progress on whether or not you're accepting. So that means every time you have a negative thought or an anxious feeling, you're taking a conscious step back and you're reminding yourself, I accept these thoughts and feelings, instead of mentally getting up there and fight. If you're doing that and then getting back into living and rinsing and repeating that process, you are making progress, even if it doesn't feel like it. It usually doesn't feel like it in the moment, right? And that's okay. That's okay. Did you ever have like a tired mind feeling, like if your brain is swollen or brain fog? Absolutely. Brain fog is very, very common. Very, very common with anxiety. And this needs to be accepted as a part of the anxiety, right? And just like Blake's comment said, don't use acceptance as a weapon against anxiety. Use acceptance to remind yourself that you're going to allow yourself to feel what you feel and to have the thoughts that you have, and you're no longer going to fight with any of it. It is what it is, right? And then rinse and repeat that. Rinse and repeat that. Bro, when I am down, I'm going to DM you on Insta. Please reply. Okay. I can't get around to everybody, dude. I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but you got to understand I've got my own life too, right? And I hope no one takes that the wrong way. But you got to realize, everything that you hear in these streams and these videos is all that you need to recover. If I was to sit around and DM everybody back who was going through it, I would have absolutely no time in the day to even take a piss. Right? So you got to understand, I wish I could tell you, yeah, that's fine. I'll definitely reply every time that you DM me on Instagram. I wish I could say that. But unless there's like 300 other me's, I can't do that, right? I can't do that. Just watch the videos, dude. You've got everything that you need right here to recover. You have to believe in yourself. You can't always, you can't always think to yourself, oh, well, I need somebody to do it for me. I need someone who's gonna, do this or do that. You've got it. You've got this. You've got everything you need right here. And like I said, if I could clone myself, I would have no problem with DMing every single one of you personally all day long. Fortunately, I can't make that promise. I can't tell you that if you DM me next time you're feeling down, that I'll be able to DM you back. I simply can't make that promise, so I'm not going to. But understand that you've got everything that you need from these streams, okay? And you can feel free to ask any questions that you want to right now while you've got me here. You can feel free to ask any question that you want to now while I'm here. But just understand, it's not personal, dude. I simply can't make that promise. Again, I would have to clone myself 300 times to be able to DM everybody back personally. And I wish I could. I really wish I could. Trust me, I do. I wish I could. But it's just not realistic, nor is it possible to be able to talk personally with everybody. I hope you understand. I hope you understand. But these videos, dude, you got everything you need right here. With this advice, you got everything you need. Trust me, believe me. Wonder Bro, I have a confession. Even thought I do feel better. Something I have been to face or try is getting a haircut because I had anxiety attacks while getting them the past years ago. So I learned how to cut my hair. So that's a very common one because getting a haircut makes some people feel a bit trapped, right? So that's a very common one, a very, very common fear. If that's something that you're going to work on or something that you want to work on, I absolutely support you. I absolutely support you. I mean, you do have all these tools now, so it's your choice if you want to face this little specific fear or not. It's your choice, but if you do decide to, you have these tools. You have these tools. I mean, I've heard stories of people just literally getting up and walking out during the middle of a haircut. Most people don't go that far, right? They just ride the waves, even though they don't necessarily like it. They just ride the waves. But I have heard stories of people just literally getting up and walking out during a haircut. So, yeah, it's not uncommon. I've heard that before. All right, guys, we're going to switch to the post stream for a moment. I will get the comments pulled back up in just a second. Alright, let's get comments pulled back up. I can't see any comments at the moment. Do you still play Minecraft? I do. I do play Minecraft. I love Minecraft. Always have, always will. Let's talk about heart race because of sound. Hey, I think you just gotta listen up. to what I've been telling you, right? Because I'm going to tell you the same thing I've already told you 4 times, right? So I need you to listen up. Whether your heart's racing because of sounds or whether your heart's racing because of big pink elephants, you know the advice and it's time to use it, right? Don't let your anxiety trick you into there's something special with me. There's a different technique that I got to use. I wish Wonder Bro would tell me some technique that I can use for this specific thing about how my heart races when I hear a sound. You already know the advice, right? So don't let your mind trick you into thinking you're missing something, dude, because you're not, right? You're definitely not. Do not let your mind trick you into that. I see it happen a lot. I see people, wondering if they're missing something or maybe there's a special technique for their case. It's not a special case sort of thing, right? It's not. It's not. Whether your heart's racing over a sound or a big pink elephant, if we're talking about anxiety, you've got the advice, the 2 main keys. Stop fighting with the thoughts, accept the feelings, live your life, right? Right?
Tonight, I'll be eating
Oh my
fried
gosh,
avocado
there's an
tacos.
ad.
Thank you. Ooh, you gonna eat that at Leslie Palooza? What? Who's coming to that? Everyone coming. Everybody. You, her, me, all of us.
I did not catch that ad in time. I did not catch that ad in time. That's okay. That's okay. We'll just get a million emails later saying that my video contains copyright. It's whatever. It's whatever. Started using the advice before, but you still have that one problem. There's not a different technique, right? I wish I could give you some sort of different technique, but there's not a different technique. It's the same thing, whether we're talking about this symptom or that symptom. You keep practicing what brought you this far, right? Don't let your mind start tricking you into thinking there's some special technique that you're missing. It's going to be the same advice, regardless of the symptom, right? A lot of time I feel anxious the whole time, and that's fine. As long as you're keeping that attitude of acceptance and you're not mentally fighting with it and you're simply letting it be as it is, which means you're not getting up there mentally fighting with it all, then you're retraining, right? Now, if you go to do whatever and your anxiety's high and you're up in your head thinking, "Oh gosh, go away, go away, go away," then we need to work on that. Then we need to practice acceptance, right? But as long as you're keeping that attitude of acceptance like you said you were, then congrats, you're on the right track, right? It might take some time for a brain to rewire, but you're on the right track. So I know it's frustrating that it doesn't happen as quickly as we'd like it to. I know it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating, but just do some self-reflection. In those moments when anxiety is high, catch yourself if you're fighting any sort of mental fight, and then let's switch that attitude to acceptance. Other than that, though, sounds like you're on the right track. And like I keep saying, I know it's frustrating that it's not happening as quickly as you would like it to happen, but as long as you're keeping that attitude of acceptance, you're doing good. You're doing good. You got to think, you're breaking a bad habit that you've probably had with you for years. Even though it took a while for it to boil over into sensitization, you've probably had the bad habits of resistance and fighting for years, even before sensitization. So, you got to think you're putting in work that's long overdue. So, the fact that it's not happening as quickly as you would like it to, don't get frustrated at that. Don't get frustrated at that. Just keep on with the self-reflection. Am I using acceptance? If the answer to that question is yes, then you're on the right track, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It takes time for a fire to burn out, right? That's a video, a stream that we did not long ago. It's a great analogy. Even though it takes time for a fire to burn out, that's fine. That's fine. That is absolutely fine, because just because you stop pouring the gas doesn't mean a fire instantly burns out, right? And I know I keep saying it, but I know how frustrating it is. I know, but just keep at it. Keep at it. Don't pour gas on that fire. You're right, Tony. It's about feeling anxious and accepting it, right? It's not about never feeling anxiety again. During recovery, you gotta feel it to heal it, right? You gotta feel it to heal it. So it's fine when you have those moments when you feel it. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Jess. You know, only you can know if you're keeping that accepting attitude, but from your comments, it sounds like you are. So as long as you're not up in your head fighting with it and you're just reminding yourself, I accept it, congrats, you're on the right track. It takes time, but congrats because you're on the right track. Bro, are you in relation or single? I am single. I am a single Pringle. I'm as single as they come. If anyone would like to change that, I am almost 30 years old and I would like to get married. So, ah, yeah, sparkling water. Uh, do I have any advice on hopeless feelings? Whenever you get a feeling that you don't necessarily like or a thought that you don't necessarily like, it's all about that acceptance, right? We want to take a step back, as many step backs as we need. Don't feel guilty for needing plenty of step backs, as we call them, in the moment, and reminding yourself, you know what? I feel this way, but that's okay. Or you know what? I'm having this thought. It's a bit sticky. It's a bit annoying, but I accept it. It's going to be okay, right? There's nothing wrong with giving yourself that little pat on the back and giving yourself an accepting reminder. You know, sometimes those accepting reminders are needed. They're needed. Gotcha. Okay, so before I used to get anxious or panic like every day for no reason. Not anymore. Only real life situations get me effed up sometimes. So obviously you're making great progress and you need to steady the course, right? Sometimes real life situations can make us nervous. They can make us afraid, and that happens. That happens. That's a part of being a human being. The fact that you're not letting it throw you down the rabbit hole back into second fear is great. It's great, and you just need to keep that up. You need to keep that up. Does anybody judge you because of tattoos? I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. And at which point they can kiss my fucking ass. So it doesn't matter. I mean, that just comes with it, you know. That's just a part of it. I knew that would happen before I got them, so that's just a part of it. It's part of it. I'm straight vibing to this lo-fi right now, guys. Straight vibing to this lo-fi right now. Guess what? What? Is that coming from thoughts building up or just rushes of adrenaline? So we don't really have much control over when these fear pathways decide to be activated in the brain, right? And that's why it can kind of blindside you from time to time. And I know that can throw you off a bit, but you know exactly what to do, right? You know exactly what to do. And it's a good thing. It shouldn't be looked at as a bad thing. When this fear wants to be activated, it's time to retrain with acceptance, right? So it's not a bad thing at all. You have to feel it to heal it. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as an opportunity. Not a bad thing at all. Watching your videos give me more help than my therapist. I appreciate that, Jess. I'm glad you're getting the help you need. If you want to go dancing, go dancing. You make your day positive. I like that, Tony. Like it. Sorry, I sent guess what by mistake. No problem, dude. No problem. I do like that comment, Tony. That's awesome, dude. I agree with you completely. And that's half of the equation, right? Live your life. Two main keys. Live your life. Stop fighting with it all. That's the two main keys in a nutshell right there. Live your life for you, what you want to do, and don't fight with these thoughts and feelings. Just say, okay, buddy. Okay, I accept you. And that's, you know, that's very easy when you hear it, but you actually got to put in the work, which that's the fun part, right? Breaking those bad habits, breaking those bad habits. Yeah, you're just, I mean, basically, Jess, at the end of the day, you're just breaking a bad habit. I mean, really, isn't that what that is at the end of the day? Can everyone agree on that? Fighting, mentally fighting with your thoughts and feelings, just a bad habit. It's just a bad habit. So, you know, bad habits die hard, old habits die hard. It takes time, but you're replacing a bad habit with a good habit. You're replacing fighting with acceptance. You might not feel it in the moment, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Alright guys, we're about an hour and a half into this stream, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate every single one of you. We are so close to the big old 10K, so if you're looking for a sign to subscribe, this is it right here. Thank you guys for watching. I love you so much, okay? And I will see you very, very soon. And until next time, as always, got to get a good one. There we go, right there.